Hey gang, how's it going? Matt, the Helpful Home Inspector here, back with another episode from our series about sellers surviving a home inspection. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about what happens after the inspection is completed. And if you haven't already gotten one of these flyers, folks, make sure you either leave your email address in the comments down below, or send us an email at thehelpfulhomeinspector@gmail.com. That's thehelpfulhomeinspector@gmail.com. Send us an email with your home address, and we'll send you a copy of this free of charge. No charge to you at all for that, all right? And it's basically just a guide to how to better survive the home inspection. So lots of great information here to help you better survive this process. A lot of that is what we're discussing in this little series here. Now, the thing we're discussing today is what's going to happen after the home inspection gets done. Now, after the home inspection gets done, a number of things may happen, right? The first thing that's probably going to happen is you're going to get notification from the listing agent that a home inspection report has been returned to you. And basically, the home inspection report is something that the buyers and buyer's agent are going to send over to your agent, and then your agent will then share that report with you. All right. Now, sometimes that report will be accompanied by an amendment. Now, an amendment would be something that is a negotiating element. You and Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, okay, you came to an agreement to purchase this home at this price with these exclusions and these inclusions and all that kind of stuff, okay? And then the home inspection contingency was in there, and as a result of the home inspection, the buyers learned something about the house that they were not aware of before, and that amendment basically means that they want to try to negotiate for those elements. Okay, nothing that says you have to. Okay, but if they have something in there that is denoted as a defect in the report, all right, and maybe that buyer decides as a result of that, because you didn't want to negotiate it, they decide they don't want the house anymore, you then are going to be required by law in Wisconsin to disclose that to anybody else that may be looking at purchasing that home. Nobody else gets to have a say whether something's a defect or not a defect. The home inspector's opinion on that item or that element is the only one that counts in this situation. But know that that amendment doesn't mean that that's something you have to agree to. The amendment is part of a negotiating process, and your listing agent, okay, and their buyer's agent are going to help you and the buyers negotiate through this process as smoothly as possible. The easiest way to go through it is dealing with it through your real estate agents, okay? It's not something to go calling up the buyers and trying to sit down at the dinner table or whatever and hash this out. That usually doesn't work out very well. It usually gets much more emotional than you would think, and sometimes people will try to control the situation and things like that. So usually working through your real estate agent is going to be your best bet to handling anything that may come down the pipeline as a result of the home inspection. The home inspection is a process in which the buyers are going to find out more about the house than they were aware of before. In all honesty, most of the sellers find out more about the house than they were aware of before as well. It's finding a place where both you and the buyers can be happy, okay, with the findings from the home inspection and your previous agreement, okay, and then finding a way to move forward through everything, all right? And if you can find a place where you're happy as far as price and everything else, and the buyers are happy with price and everything else, then everything's gonna move forward smoothly, and you move on to wherever you're moving to, and they move into the house, and everything works out great, and the rainbows come out, and the gold money pits pop up from the ground, and life goes on, you know? But ultimately, you guys, when the home inspection gets done, okay, lots of times the sellers are very anxious, all right? Try to be patient. It's a process. The home inspector's got to go back from the home inspection. They're going to write up the report. In some cases, the report might be, well, my average report is going to be about, 50 to 60 pages long, okay? And I always tell my buyers, the length of the report has nothing to do with the quality of the home. It has everything to do with how many pictures I took that day, how talkative I am, or how wordy I might be, okay? But that inspection report is going to be very thorough, very detailed. It's going to talk about everything that the home inspector found out about the home, and when the listing agent shares that with you, just take it in, okay? If you haven't gotten any amendments and all you got was a copy of the inspection report, don't get overly nervous because there's a whole bunch of stuff in the inspection report. Wait to see if they try to give you an amendment or try to negotiate for everything. Maybe the buyers are okay with everything that they heard about at the house, and it's an older house. It's a house from 1965. They were expecting some of these things. They knew the roof needed to be replaced. They knew there was water in the basement. You had disclosed that the one of the joists in the basement needs to be repaired. Whatever that may be, they may be okay with it. And if they're okay with it, they're going to send you kind of a piece of paper that's going to indicate that they're okay with everything moving forward, and they're going to basically relieve their home home inspection contingency. If for some reason you did not have the right to cure, all right, then they may go and say, hey, I don't want this house anymore because of X, Y, or Z. And you don't have the right to cure in that situation, so then they would basically be moving away from this transaction. The right to cure and not to cure. Let's get into that real quickly here. So in your offer to purchase, one of the things with your home inspection contingency is that you either have the right to cure or do not have the right to cure. Okay, the right to cure basically means that the home inspector comes back and says, hey, X, Y, and C defects exist at the home, and the seller and the buyers are choosing to negotiate those elements. If you refuse to repair those at all, okay, then they can make a decision, and they can either choose to stay in the transaction or not stay in the transaction, all right? But you have a choice. When you have a right to cure, you have a choice to fix it or not to fix it. If you choose to fix it, then the buyers are still in the obligated contract that you guys came up with in that offer to purchase, all right? If you don't have the right to cure, then you don't get to make the choice whether to fix it or not necessarily if the buyers don't want to give you that choice, all right? So not having the right to cure means that the buyers can try to negotiate with you to have those things fixed, but they're not required to. If they come in and they find out that the roof is bad and needs to be replaced, they can say, hey, the roof is bad, needs to be replaced, I'm walking away from this deal, I don't want to deal with that. It's the middle of winter, you know, and they don't want to try to work on replacing a roof in the springtime, hoping it's all going to be priced out right and that they're not going to have any added expense and stuff. I get it, but if it's the house that they really want, they're gonna find a way and try to negotiate with you. And the right to cure at that situation won't make that big of a difference. But when it comes to the legalese of the whole thing, having the right to cure is an important thing to keep if you can. Talk to your real estate agent; they'll kind of maybe be able to break that down a little bit more clearly for you. But the right to cure and not to cure is an important element and as a part of the home inspection contingency based on the findings of the home inspection. As far as the home inspection goes, folks, that's kind of what's going to happen after the inspection. Any negotiating takes place, and y'all are going to find a place of comfort, or everybody's going to go their own ways. It's all a matter of finding the right mesh of all of these things, and your real estate agent will really help you work through that process, all right? But as far as the home inspection goes, that is the end of it, and after that time, the home inspection really is not going to play a role in the transaction at all, and really is going to be kind of on the back burner, because all of the negotiating and results of findings during the home inspection will have taken place, all right? Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the series about surviving a home inspection from a seller's perspective. Again, if you have not already gotten one of these flyers, put your email address in the comments down below, or send us an email at thehelpfulhomeinspector@gmail.com with your home address. We'll be happy to mail you one out, all right? Remember, the better you take care of your house, you guys, the better it's going to take care of you. Thanks again for tuning in today. And again, I'm the Matt, the Helpful Home Inspector. Have a good one.